Frankie. I'm with Dsquared Racing out of Golden, Colorado. Car number 4441. So I started, I kind of started young on dirt bikes, riding motocross, and then from there I've always been on a bicycle, two wheels. And yeah, from there it went to cars, and then we moved, my wife and I, Darlene, moved out to Colorado early 2000s, and kind of got into the off-road thing. So we started building Jeeps, kind of getting into that whole aspect, and about 10, 11 years ago, we started this whole Ultra 4 thing kicked off, and we came out for a couple of these events out here in the lake bed. We decided to spend the money, break the bank, and go for golds. Ten years later, here we are. So we had, so the very first car we built was a Trent Fab chassis. It was a 100 proof chassis. We basically took that car, went three ways to Sunday with it, cut off back half, redid it, trailing arms, and just kind of the evolute of the sport. And then after that, we ended up going with, about every 3 years we get a new car, seemingly. But 3 years after that, 4 years after that, we started building a Trent Fab 151 independent car. We kind of seen where the whole market was going faster through the rocks, smoother rides, and a little bit more desert involved, so the independent cars seemed to do a little bit better job of that. And then about 3-4 years ago again, we built this latest car, which we transferred over to a different company, Jimmy's 4x4. You know, geography is a lot better for us because they're only about 8 hours south of where we live, so it's a little bit shorter of a trip than driving 17 out to Reno. So yeah, we started having those guys, we started building a car with those guys, and independent car again, and here we are 4 years later, still in it. So we have competed in 10 hammers, King of the Hammers so far. This is our 10th year actually. First, it always sounds funny because 2011 was our first year, but if you actually count it out, this is actually our 10th year doing it. Well, we haven't had the best luck. So this is actually, this year, 2020 was the first, our second finish that we've had. 2 years ago we finished also. I think we finished 21st, I think it was, about 2 years ago. And then this year we managed to get a 10th position, so that's great. So we got out here, we usually get out here, we usually try to get out here 4 or 5 days before the event actually starts, so we can kind of get our camp set up. And so yeah, we get out here, get the camp set up. We try to make our tent nice because we know the guys are going to be living in the dirty conditions, and who knows what the weather's going to bring, so we make sure that our team is well cared for. So we make our tent pretty nice, lights, stereo, carpet, all the good stuff, food. And but yeah, so, and that's what we do, you know. And then we come out here, then we start, you know, if there's odds and ends, because generally being from Colorado, we kind of live up in the hills up in Colorado, and we always got snow. And we try to get out here, beat the weather, and even if we've got a little bit of things, you know, a few things left to do on the car, we'll get that knocked out, and then we start pre-running, start testing and tuning, getting everything lined up, you know, for race day. And that's what we did this year, and this year was easy. This year we actually had it pretty easy. The guys were actually kind of relaxed, and it was a good time. for the qualifier, we went to go out and warm up the car, get the shocks warm, get everything up to temperature. We found out a couple small problems that kind of held us back a little bit, but you know, there's always excuses, and no car is ever 100% ready just about for any of these events. So we did as good as what we could have and probably should have did. But yeah, we ended up in 37th position and qualified.
When?
How'd you qualify?
Where?
It looks like you're sitting in 10th, right?
No, as far as I know, we're in 12th right now. Obviously, we had some T-case issues and did a little power loss, but yeah, I think we got like 3 minutes flat, something like that, to put us in 12th, and we'll probably move back a little bit at this point, but we'll still be all right. It's a long race.
Don't kill the car.
I don't think on race day, I just do. Yeah, man, we're good to go. We're excited. Not nervous so much, just excited today.
Did you have any issues throughout the week?
Not really. It's actually been a pretty clean, smooth week, so that's what made this week easy. That's why we're excited. We don't have anything to worry about.
So after we took the green flag, it was basically because the morning, it was a beautiful morning, except there was no wind. And when there's no wind out here, it's just it just hangs in the air, the dust that's created, and we haven't had much moisture out here in a while, so it's pretty dusty. And so that morning, it was just a matter of keeping the car together, not doing anything stupid, staying in the car. My wife, Darlene, pounded on me, just, you know, the more time you spend out of the car, the more time that adds your overall time. So we really kind of took our time and, you know, tried not to do anything too stupid, keep behind, just kind of hang low because it's a long race. You know, attrition rates are high in this kind of a thing. So we just hung back and played the game. You know, our race day went great. We didn't have any major problems. You know, we killed a couple tires, and that's what you do out here, trying to go fast in the rocks, trying to do stupid stuff. But yeah, so we had no major failures. We found a steering leak. I don't think the car would have went much further than what it did. I tried to give a buddy of mine a ride this morning, and it was not happy. So. We basically just had a couple issues with keeping the rubber, you know, air in the tires, but other than that, we've had a pretty straight day.
We didn't break anything. We had a couple tires, and that was about it. So, which is par for the course out there, because there was a lot of sharp rocks out there. So, yeah, we were trying to run fast. Nope. We winched once, and I got to thank Jason Shipman for that one. So they were kind of watered up in the spot that we probably should have got watered up in, but he was there, and we were trying to get around them, and they were good to us, and they pulled winch line for us. So in theory, we had to winch once, but technically we didn't do it.
The most epic moment was the fact that everybody's happy in my tent and my pit. You know, everybody travels from all over the country to come meet here. Some years are better than others as far as working on the car. You know, it's just been a good week. I mean, it's been, you know, there's been years that we've been out here in the lake bed, and it's just like, we should just pack it up and go home now, because things happen and they're not always all good. And, you know, you see a lot of these movies and everybody's breaking stuff, and it's true. I mean, and it gets to you and it gets to the team, but, you know, we're good. We you know, everybody knows how to keep it together. We've got a good crew, so it's been great.
It went great. Actually, we didn't have a bad day at all, so everything cruised along the way it mostly should have. So took our time, tried not to do too much stupid stuff. Here we are.
How much fun was it out there for you?
It was a ton of fun. We were singing Congo songs in the dust. It was a good time. It was fun.
What was the most challenging part of the course you felt?
Yeah, the dust, and actually coming in here because we're both blind, so it's hard to see it this time of night. So yeah, that was probably about the worst part, but that wasn't too bad.
How's the car handle for you?
Great, love it. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Any shout out for some sponsors? Here we go.
Oh yeah, well, I'd like to thank Goodyear, PRP Seats, Thorcon, who else we got, man? Jimmy's 4x4 rugged radios, my wife, and my race team. Those are my best sponsors I got.
Who would I like to thank? I got to thank the whole team because they're great. I mean, we've got an amazing group of guys that pretty much will travel with us everywhere on the races. I mean, of course, I'm going to thank my wife, Darlene, you know, Tommy, Jeremy, Will, Dave and Barb, Pat, Floppy. You know, we've got neighbors that we've ran into that have come out here. Yeah, I mean, everybody's done a fantastic job out here. You know, we even had our engine tuner. We brought him out. You know, Greg and Ty, they were great. Greg's the engine tuner, Ty's the neighbor guy. They're super cool, and you know, they just like to kick back and have fun. And they helped work out the King Summit car that we did have.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's the second time in 10 years. This is our 10th year racing this, and we finally finished it for the second time, so we're happy.
Congratulations, bud.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations. Good job.
Goodyear being number one, they've been fantastic to us for the last 10 years. We've been running those tires. You know, Goodyear's been great. You know, we've got PRP Seats, Thorcon, MK Ranch, Rugged Radios has been fantastic. But we don't have, you know, we don't have a ton of sponsors. We kind of keep it, you know, our sponsors are great. We love the ones that we have, and we keep it small, and we keep it like a tight-knit family, and they're great.
Hey, buddy.
Even with all the craziness.
We finished. There's a check.
Back into the tank. Spill that shit back in the car.
I don't know where I'm going to cash it, but there's a check. I don't know. It just doesn't fit. 10th.
10th place.
We got 10th. Yep.
So how was the races throughout the week? Hard city.
We didn't break anything. We didn't break anything. We had a couple tires, and that was about it. So, which is par for the course out there, because there was a lot of sharp rocks out there. So, yeah, we were trying to run fast. Nope. When I crossed the finish line and shut the car off, it wouldn't start up to get on the stage to come up and do an interview. I don't know. That's about it.
What was the most scariest one? What did he do?
When the car wouldn't start, get up over the. There wasn't anything scary today. We were seeing the dust. The dust was bad. The dust was bad, and that was a little sketchy at the beginning. But after that, it was easy. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't easy, but there wasn't anything necessarily scary. It was just, it's wheeling hammers. What do you do? Thank you.
I'm so brain dead from yesterday, man. I'm fucking retarded.